It's Vergil. So in this one, I'm going to be updating my top 10 best units tier list here on Dragon Ball Legends. And I know it's a bit overdue because I didn't make a video for the Gotenks. However, the new Ultra Majin Vegeta does complement the Gotenks very well. Majin Buu Saga tag has, evolved into something where you're bringing a lot of other characters back into the arguable top 10 realm and kicking out a lot of heavy hitters previously from like the last couple of months out of the top 10. It's going to be a crazy one, but make sure to drop a like in the video, subscribe if you guys are new for all things Dragon Ball Legends related, and we're not going to waste any time here. I'm going to be talking about Majin Vegeta Frame 1 here. I think he is the arguable best current character in the game. It took a little bit of time to actually solidify my opinion on him because the other character that you can argue for number one right now being this Ultra Turles, they're very close. In terms of overall consistency, value, team dynamics, right color specifically, I think the comeback's insane. The durability, the damage potential off of both characters are actually really, really nice. But I think Majin Vegeta might, and this is a changed opinion because I was actually leaning towards Turles initially just from a consistency perspective, but I'm just running into constant Majin Vegetas and his snipe, right? The AoE green card, the gauge. He does feel like he is dominating just a tad more, and I honestly wouldn't argue it's like nitpicking at that point. Both are acceptable arguments, but I'm going to be leaning towards adding Majin Vegeta as the number one current character in the game, with having, Majin Buu Saga being top tier, Yellow Blue with Turles, Triku, or even another yellow character like, I don't know, I guess Gogeta Blue, Super Baby 2. There's a couple of other ones you can make out of that, but yeah, Yellow Blue, best combo, or 3 combo in the game, and this is how I see it. The top 2 characters of the game, they're at their peak right now. Greens, there's not too many strong greens to really hold it down. We're looking at like Evil Boo, Omega, and that's pretty much it. I mean, if you want to cope and say Ultra Gohan, he's still holding his own, a utility god here. I don't think he makes the top 10 realm, but greens are down bad. Reds don't really exist right now. You have this guy, you have LF Broly 17. Do we have anyone that we're missing? No, Gotenks. There we go, man. Gotenks. That's the red. That's the only red you're going to be seeing more times than not. And me personally, I'm going to be immediately sliding him to a top 3 position. I had him top 3. By the way, if you guys don't follow me on X and Twitter, I actually make an initial list before I go ahead and record the video, so you guys can get my thoughts before I solidify and or want to kind of change things around. But the only thing I actually had different, if you guys take a look, it's my X page right here. Whoa, I'm actually changing some things up. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm changing some things up. I had Turles above the Majin Vegeta, and using both characters for the last couple of days, I have realized that Majin Vegeta is just cooking way too hard right now, and I do want to put some respect on his name. We have the very first number 1 Majin Vegeta in such a very long time. I think years at this point. But Gotenks, we're going to be talking about Gotenks here. Does have some really insane utilities. The only character that's able to put a stoppage to the yellow blue domination. He's a great pair for Majin Vegeta. All of the Majin Buu Saga characters are currently gaining value, like Super Vegito. We have Kid Buu still insane, although he doesn't have the Majin Buu Saga Z ability. If you want to leader slot him, if you want to run regen, there's other Buu characters that are top tiered right now. We do have Shin. He's not over here, but he's insane. And Ultimate Gohan, believe it or not, he's the only purple, in my personal opinion, that is holding on, because the 2 yellows that are dominating the game, Ultra Majin Vegeta and Triku. Where is Triku, man? Is he not here? Where's my goat? Oh, he's right here. Am I blind? Okay, so yeah, Triku right here. Basically, they're so oppressive that purple units are actually being pushed back tremendously. But I think the fact that Majin Buu Saga is the arguable best team in the game right now, if you're having like a setup dynamic like this, and the third character could be anything of the above, if you wanted to have this, if you wanted to have this, if you wanted to have this, the cancel buff effects, the double endurance, it's ridiculous, man. Gotenks is definitely holding his own. The type neutral defense for 100 counts. Him just going type neutral in general. The damage output is insane. The constant vanish restoration. And, his partners. It will always be a factor with how insane they actually made the Majin Buu Saga tag with the partners. So, I will be doing this. This is my top 3 currently in the game. And, you could actually, make this work as a team as well. If you wanted to run Majin Buu Saga, it'd be weird for bench but we do actually have a lot of other, you know, non-Zenkai buff characters. I've seen optimal setups with just flat-out Z ability characters to hold down Majin Buu Saga and then Turles lead. But, yeah, number 4 on my list, I'm actually changing this from what I had previously. I had Ultimate Gohan at 5, or 4, excuse me. I am going to be pushing Ultimate Gohan back. Yes, purples are taking a massive hit, but talk about Ultimate Gohan in a second. Triku, just holding it down for the game. Movies is still up there. Turles, Triku, still one of, if not the best combo, like the best duo in the game. You have these two together, and they just complement each other so well, right? Cancel buffs with the Triku, one-hit wonder buffs at least, and the disruptive utility, him being the one of the main counters for actually Majin Vegeta's gauge. I don't know if you guys knew that, but if you end up popping Majin Vegeta's gauge, he cannot respond with the blue card. It actually traps that. But you guys probably already know that. The solid damage dealing, easy. I mean, long range, long animation green card, but the combo potential with Triku is superb. And yeah, just Sun Family movies, anything you really want to throw him on the, you know, with Triku, he's just so good right now. And with purples, you know, kind of taking a step back, no reds to really, you know, besides this guy, he's the only character that's a threat to these two characters in terms of like color advantage. You're not running into a lot of these other reds too often. You might be, but I said top rank, not too often there. Ultimate Gohan, he is able to constantly cancel buffs, right? Cancel buff effects. He's able to go type neutral. He's, you know, good utility with the Vanish Restore. He's partnered up on Majin Buu Saga, and that's pretty much what it comes down to, right? The drop combo, the Vanish Steal, the go in the type neutral ultimate snipe. These are all some still insane utilities, and there's a lot of characters that do counter this, right? With the cancel buff effects. Having endurance is still extremely powerful when you have partners like Evil Boo, Gotenks, when you have partners like Majin Vegeta. So many characters are canceling buffs. This guy is very protected in comparison to, say, like G4, right? Say if you get caught by a Triku and you can't heal or anything like that, you know, G4 is in the same predicament, but it's a lack of team dynamic, team options right now, top team options. You have G4. Main primary is going to be Fusion. It's going to be GT. If you want to leader slot him, obviously that can work, but it's tough. It's tough because he is a damage dealer. He wants to one-shot in the ultimate. We have a lot of cancel buffs. You can make use of the AoE green card or the gauge. Triku is going to stop him in his tracks. He did this alone, and then now Majin Vegeta is kind of putting a nail in the coffin. I've made a couple of revisits. I've, you know, documented this in my streams, my videos, but basically G4 was already countered very heavily because of Triku, so in my opinion, he was pushed out of the 5 at that point. Right now, this guy feels like almost, if not already, pushed out of the top 10, and if you think otherwise, you know, it's just either copium or your lower rank where G4 is still able to dominate at such a fashion, because he's a great character. He's still really good. You know, he can do work. He has great partners, right? Gotenks is there. Omega Shinron is there if you want to run pure fusions. GT, Super Babe. There's still a lot of great options for him. It's just being a purple card in general, having a direct counter Triku specifically. Say if you get caught one time by Majin Vegeta, it's a snipe on his ultimate. AoE damage, your whole team's dead. It's very, very easy to make a mistake with the purple character and just have him annihilated. With Ultimate Gohan, he's able to cancel buffs. He's able to go type neutral in certain instances that, you know, will save and protect him. So, and the team options are far better than what Gogeta 4 has going on right now. So it's just how I see it. I can see Ultimate Gohan going a little bit farther back just from being purple, excuse me. Maybe something like this. But even then, I'd probably still run Ultimate Gohan. This is just my personal opinion. I haven't found it too tedious or like too effective to where it's like unable to run this character. His assets to the team, like that he provides, everything that I just listed, the utility is still phenomenal. So I'm going to have him as my number 5 placement there. If you guys can see previously, I had it like this. I had Ultimate Gohan, then Triku, and it was just... Triku can be argued number 3 right now. That's how insane the yellow-yellow-blue combination is. I think it can go either way there as well. But Gotenks holding a little bit more here, just being a heavy counter to the strongest, right? If we're calling Turles, Majin, and Triku the strongest team in the game, Gotenks is that one guy that's going to slow it down. And then we still have this combination right here. Ultimate Gohan, Gotenks, and Majin Vegeta. I do think that's a little bit better than if you were to have Super Vegeta, but he's actually holding some insane value. I've done some revisits for the 4th or the 6th anniversary fusions. Everyone has their own video. It's my last 3 uploads. Go check them out. And yeah, he is the best fusion from the 6th anniversary right now, which is amazing to see because G4 was #1 for such a long time. Vegeta Blue was top tier for such a long time, and now both options are being excluded from the top 10, whilst this guy, just Majin Buu Saga, constantly getting buffed. Rising Rush mechanic is still extremely powerful. Majin Vegeta doesn't cancel the buff effects for the Rising Rush, I believe. And yeah, you're still a victim, right? A lot of these characters can still be a victim to Rising Rush. Guaranteed Rising Rush is still a thing. It's just if you cancel the buff effects like Evil Boo, we got Ultimate Gohan, and that's pretty much it. Those 2 characters. If you're not running into those 2 characters, Comeback is able to save you. Indestructible is able to save you. It's still an extremely valuable ability outside from the damage. The other, you know, Vanish Restore, great utilities that Super Vegito does provide. It's just a good team option right now. Blue being very nice. Not too bad, like a neutral-ish color. There's only 1 red, to be fair, but there isn't too many greens. We have Evil Boo right here. I'm going to throw Evil Boo at 7. I had him previously at 6, but we're going to give the benefit of the doubt to Super Vegito after running him. I think he does hold just a tad bit more consistent value. Evil Boo is really just like a cancel buff merchant. However, at the same exact time, let me not say that because he's great defense, great offense, and yeah, that's really what it comes down to. He's got some good quirks, but it really is a cancel buff effects kind of character. We're able to swap into him and, you know, use that ability up. But great counter to Turles as well, being a green unit. Thinking here, purple units are kind of slow, so green units are a lot safer. So the only purple unit you're not running into G4 as often. You're not running into any of these other characters as often. By the way, they're still pretty good in terms of, say, if you wanted to run a purple character. They have a lot of options like Triku for movies, fusions. We got Gotenks. We got you know, a lot of these other outside of the bleeding the top 10 characters have really great options. But Evil Boo, he makes a solidified spot in the 10 for me. I don't think he gets enough respect. See a lot of people not even mentioning him, and he is definitely a main option. And Proud, I haven't even mentioned Proud in this video. Majin Buu Saga has an entire formation in Proud, and they had it previously. You don't even need to remove anybody for the leader slot, right? You could add Turles there for probably arguable best team, but Kid Buu, Evil Buu, Shin, Ultimate Gohan, Super Vegito, Gotenks, you name it, right? There's so many characters, right? In Proud, you probably could be running powerful opponents. Fusions is still pretty solid. Thinking of other teams, movies should be insane in Proud, right? With Turles, Triku, maybe Gogeta Blue, Go Pickle, Frieza, Broly, Garlic, GT can still maybe hold their own, GT. But yeah, there's a lot of good variety still. Regen is like a mix of Majin Buu Saga if you're running Kid Buu, Evil Buu. There's still a good variety of teams here, but Majin Buu Saga has definitely flooded and taken over the top 10 realm. I'm going to be slapping Omega Shinron at number 8. I think he holds just a bit less value because of like a team thing. Really, I would just leader slot merchant him. I mean, previously fusions, if you were running him with G4, and there was like a couple of other builds, powerful opponents, GT, fusions, those are the 3 that I'm thinking of specifically. Now it would just be like a leader slot situation where you would want to slap him on movies, you want to slap him on Majin Buu Saga, and you know, those other teams are still solid, but Evil Buu is just being a more consistent option on both standard, both Proud modes because of the rest of his party just being that much more powerful. If you wanted to have this because of individual prowess, like Omega is a better character individually. I don't think that's I think it's pretty obvious that he's better individually, right? The indestructible is insane. The cover into type neutral is insane. He's able to tank. He's able to do damage. He's got a lot of team varieties. This guy's insane. And probably, yeah, I would still, you know, I'm convincing myself to put Omega above Evil Buu, but I'm going to put Evil Buu here just for relevancy right now in the game, and that's how we do tier list. This is a right now momentary thing. Omega's being less ran. It doesn't make him worse of a character. It just means his parties, the relevancy of him has fallen in terms of his teams, right? GT, fusions, and powerful opponents. They're not the #1 spotlight anymore. We have Yellow Blue movies, or with Majin Vegeta, we have Majin Buu Saga. Those are the two best, like, literal teams in the game. There's a lot of varieties of Majin Buu Saga as well. But Regen, still up there. If you want it, that could be a thing. If you want to mix up Regen with Majin Buu Saga, you have Evil Buu, Kid Buu. There you go. But there's a lot of ways to do it here. I'm just going to slide a little bit more value to Evil Buu. I'm sure you guys understand that. We have 8, 9, 10. We have 2 more characters that fit in this list. I don't think I can include G4. I'm going to show you guys what I did previously here. So we had Kid Buu, we had Shin, and those are the last 2 characters. So Kid Buu, Shin. I could probably slap Kid Buu here at number 9. You know, previously he was like a couple of slots higher. Right now, you know, I was still thinking he was going to be at the same value. Him not having the Majin Buu Saga Z ability holds him just a little bit, but not really that much. He's the main still on Regen if you want to run these guys, if you want to have him on lead. There's a lot of blast teams. There's so much you could do with this character, right? Vanish, you're going type neutral for a couple of counts. The constant Vanish restore is insane. The damage, just raw damage blast potential that this Kid Buu, this character has is beyond me, right? So I don't ever want to underestimate this character, but I'll probably have him right there. And number 10 is just a freelance free ball character. If you guys want to go ahead and slap G4 here, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to, oh my god, that's incorrect. That's correct. I think personally you can get better value from a character like Shin in the meta right now over G4 with how everything is considered. If you have a dynamic, even in proud mode, purples are a liability. If you're running a purple, it better be this guy because he is the one team / unit option that's able to kind of hold his own against everything we have going on for the yellows, right? He's still a liability, but not as much as G4. He feels like directly countered. He's liable to snipes. His AoE green's compromised. His gauge is compromised. His healing factor is compromised. G4, you can slap him here if you really want to. Individual character. He's still got the, you know, Omega, Go Tanks. That's really all the characters you would run him in the 10. Maybe you want to lead him and whatnot, but it's GT. Everyone else is out of the 10. Fusions, GT, and that's it, right? Fusions, GT, maybe Saiyans. I don't know. Shin. I personally just see more value from him right now. I think he's also being undervalued. His support utility, the card ceiling, and it's just that disrupt kind of nature there. He's got a couple of other quirks, but it's really the convenience of Majin Buu Saga dominating so well, and being a red character can be extremely valuable in this meta, right? With no team focus on him, whether he's built strike or, offensively or defensively, he's still able to do great amounts of damage and defense for everything considered, right? Usually not Zenkai buffing him. He could probably be a leader slot merch. You know, maybe if you want to run God Key, I don't see any God Key characters here, unfortunately. So it's usually just on lead slot, or if you want to run a pure Majin Buu Saga team. But I can still see more value from him. Me personally, G4. If you want to do this, that's fine with me too. That'd be like the other option. I see this guy being from 11 through 15. Other characters that will be in honorable mentions, easily Goku and Piccolo. Movies, the tag swap into different colors, the AoE green card, Vanish Restore, Cover Nullification, Cancel Buff Effects. Go Pickle is one of my favorite 1% characters currently, and they deserve to be talked about. Honestly, can you even argue them top 10? Movies, right? Triku, Go Pickle. I don't know if it'll be enough for a top 10, but it's definitely arguable if that makes any sense. Can I see them like around the 10-9 mark? Yes. Do I want to argue that right now? No, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to some other characters here. Maybe I'll put them above G4 as well. I'm going to bring all these characters down so you can see the true characters I would like to keep in the top 10 or the honorable mentions. I'll have 5 characters here. Super Baby 2 is still great with these partners here. So G4, Omega, the Regen cast, and Yellow Blue. So the Snipe, the Disrupt, the Gauge, Super Baby 2's, you know, surprisingly enough, actually holding his own very, very well. LF Broly, Super 17, you guys got to step off the pedestal. Reds, we're not seeing you all that much. Turles is still running about. Ultra Gohan, I've thought about this for long and hard. Maybe you're here. Maybe you're here. I mean, realistically, there's so many Sun Family options. There's a lot of Blast options specifically, and he might still make a good combo. He counters the best, arguable best, by the way, I meant to do this. I'm going to check the list before we have Majin Vegeta #1. That's just how it is. I think he can be a good counter right now to Turles. The anti-blast armor, the blue card counter everything, last man standing capabilities. You guys know everything about Ultimate or Ultra Gohan. And I think he can be argued in this honorable mention. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt out of nowhere. I didn't plan on doing that. It's just a raw take right there. And then the last one, Gogeta Blue might not make it. Golden Frieza might not make it. God Goku, Cope, no, absolutely not. Bro, God Goku is on, like, these guys are twinning right now for the worst anniversary aging values currently, which is absurd because how good movies is. God Ki can hold their own. Sun Family, Saiyans, there's so many setups, and their colors are actually really good, but their individual, they need too much to be good. Garlic Jr., I don't want to sleep on this character right now. His only problem is that he's purple. So, I don't even want to have another purple here. On movies, he's bulky, and you have Triku, you have other characters to kind of hold it down and protect. But, I don't want to have too many characters on my honorable mentions, man. He's a purple unit, so he's just liable. It's just how it is. He's still a wall. He's still very good. But, with the yellow, blue, it's every other game. I'm telling you guys, yellow, blue is the meta right now. So purple characters, Ultra Broly, they're definitely taking steps back. Garlic Jr., I don't see it. Maybe, maybe you can argue it, but I just personally wouldn't have him right there. I don't really want to talk about a purple unit. You guys, before we wrap up the video, I had to take a look at something. I knew I was forgetting one character, and I wanted to fill up that 5th placement for my honorable mentions, and it's going to be this guy right here, the Buu Bros. Top Majin Buu saga option. They have a plat, they have a Zenkai, they're able to output some pretty decent damage, decent utility. Not a big fan of them still to this day, and I don't ever use them that much, but from things that I've seen, the blast meta still being very prominent, right? A lot of blast options. And, blue's not a bad color with all things considered. Sun Family, Saiyans, Majin Buu Saga, blue, yellow, blue, all that stuff, all that jazz, they hold a really decent role here. And I'm going to place them above G4's overall value. This is not too ordered, I'm going to be completely honest. Maybe you want to even have them as the top of honorable mentions, but, yeah, this is not all that. Oh, they're very close. I was saying this previously, but yeah, we'll have that there. And, let me know what you guys think. See you guys. Peace.
Up all night, so you don't wanna wait on me. I'm about to catch my flight, so you don't gotta wait